Humanity is up against the greatest threat of our brief existence. Be ready.
I'll need a team. A good one.
Finding them and convincing them to work with you could be challenging. Most of them have moved on.
When we start a mission, we finish it.
Yeah, okay.
As we come off the world building of Mass Effect 1, we shift focus to something more personal. With the bar set so high, this story alone isn't enough to carry us through the middle narrative. The villain is mysterious and menacing, but lacks the impact of Saren before. The threat of the Reaper invasion lingers, but there's a breather from the immediate dread. The setting and the tone remain, but the heavy lifting was done in Mass Effect 1. All these elements alone, while still strong, aren't as great as they can be unless they come together. There's a few key ingredients that unify it all, where none of it would be nearly as impactful without them. The characters. We open with the destruction of the Normandy and our death. An unlikely ally in the criminal outfit, Cerberus, invests massive resources into our reconstruction. 2 years of untold wealth and effort dedicated to bringing us back from the dead. The elusive man gave the order, whom then proceeds to persuade us to work for him to defeat the Reapers. He's the only one taking the threat seriously, as the rest of the galaxy has chalked it all up to fables and hysteria.
You and your crew are the only ones who spoke directly to Sovereign. Officially, the existence of the Reapers has been dismissed as a myth spread by Saren to convince the Geth to follow him.
The 2-year passage of time is an interesting angle. It sets up a great base for us to wonder how things have developed. But at the same time, it can feel like some of our efforts have been undone. We left humanity on top of the galaxy, and it's hard to get a gauge on how it's doing now, because we're not privy to the council meetings like before.
You told Admiral Hackett to abandon the Destiny Ascension.
Instead, we stand opposite to them, utilizing the underground networks and resources responsible for our resurrection. Our new crew consists of members that are disillusioned with the Alliance, and its negligence to that of the Reaper threat.
We lost respect for Alliance leadership. We need to fight the real enemy, and only Cerberus seemed to be doing that.
A diverse group of individuals with unique skills and backgrounds, masters of fields, banded together to the common cause of saving humanity. But despite many of our old friends being scattered, we still happen across a few friendly faces. Even our new wings are familiar. And as far as everyone is concerned, we're heading into certain death, but united under the leadership of a reconstructed cyborg test subject. The first mission is to investigate a human colony, in which the colonists are being abducted by a mysterious alien race known as the Collectors. We've met before. They've been conducting brutal attacks on human colonies along the fringes of the galaxy, capturing thousands in the process for unknown reasons. They originate from the Omega-4 relay, believed to be the only known relay that leads directly to the heart of Reaper-controlled space. It's shrouded in mystery, as countless ships that have attempted to traverse it have never returned. After an assault, deception, on a Collector ship, we acquire a Reaper IFF.
This was a trap. Enemies ahead! You heard the man. Everybody onto the Normandy.
It helps us navigate beyond the Omega-4 relay. But before we leap without looking, we need to assess the situation. While these missions can't necessarily be rejected unless we've played before and avoid the trigger event, we can, for the most part, continue shifting the odds in our favor. So, despite the sense of immediacy, we still need to prepare for the dangers we're set to face. But we need not face them alone. There's plenty of incentive for us to continue building the team. Each character contributes upgrades to the Normandy, flesh out the lore, determine the success of the overall mission, and even raise the odds of their own personal survival. At any moment, we can choose to jump through the Omega-4 relay, and if we're underprepared, it'll cost us more than just the lives of our friends. So, we should continue building the roster, because we'll need all the help we can get. But one thing is certain, that whatever it is we mean to do, we can do it with the power of Primarily, my squad consisted of Grunt and Jack. If you watch my first video, you know I just shotgun my way through everything. So I just wanted to have another meat shield to tank while I blasted away with some background bionic support. But I think because of the difficulty I was playing on, they were focus firing me too much. So I ended up switching to everyone's favorite Birdman to balance the lacking tech powers of my squad. Also spent some time with Morden. Regardless, as I bounced around these characters, I realized that each one embodies the same themes as the last, albeit slightly different supporting themes, but definitely a main theme of friendship and loyalty. These themes go hand in hand, but it starts with what you'd expect, getting to know them and establishing a bond. Some more open to it than others. They can bring out more of the lore of the universe around us, more world building, and more of themselves.
I trained to become a Spectre after the Normandy was destroyed, but it didn't work out.
They've built a life in our absence, each attempting to make a difference within their own capacities.
This is one of the storage units I sent to Father.
Eventually, we begin to find ourselves in positions to help them.
Help me find my long-lost daughter and kill her.
These are known as loyalty missions, optional requests that delve into each character's personal history.
I've kept her hidden for years, but his agents have tracked her to Ilium. I need to help her.
Accepting them improves our friendship, whereas rejecting them ensures our cooperation is strictly business, thus highlighting the types of relationships that can be forged in the face of adversity.
You're not really interested unless it affects you. I've been through all this shit before.
Our bromance with Garrus is a prime example. A former CSEC officer turned vigilante, he remains fiercely loyal to us, delving into dangerous missions with unwavering support. A loyalty rooted in a deep friendship illustrates the endearing bonds that can be formed through these shared experiences of the past.
Everyone was always ignoring you and hitting on me. Time for you to get a fair shot at it.
He asks us to aid him in achieving justice and closure by seeking out a former colleague, Sidonus, who betrayed him and his team during a mission and left Garrus to die. An opportunity of reckoning and forgiveness, which takes us to the dangerous underworld of the crime-ridden Omega, in search of a forger known as Fade. He has the whereabouts of the Turian we seek. After battling through Fade's minions, Garrus is forced to confront his anger, his betrayal, and desire for revenge, while we serve as a moral guide and confidant. Probably not the healthiest one either.
That had to hurt. Now shoot off his testicles.
As he struggles with his personal vendetta, our role is crucial in shaping his choices and providing a balanced perspective.
You don't think he deserved it?
It's just not like you.
Ultimately, when Garrus traps Sidonus, I give him the freedom to make his own decisions to either spare him or kill him. If Garrus chooses to spare Sidonus, he experiences a profound catharsis. He realizes that mercy and redemption can be more powerful than revenge, thus elucidating the transformative power of compassion and understanding. But for me personally, I think the options are more consistent if you're a renegade like me.
Shit.
If Garrus chooses to kill him, it tightens our bond. His journey serving as a testament to the power of friendship and demonstrating how these values can shape an individual's choices, leading to personal redemption and growth. After all is said and done, and we're basking in the aftermath of our moral dilemmas, we have a moment to reflect on the nuanced portrayals of the complexities involved in seeking justice.
Everyone except me is dead because of him, and because I didn't see it coming.
Another successful mission etched into the shared history between us. The trust, respect, reliance on one another speaks to the bonds that tie individuals together.
Whatever happens with the Collectors or the Reapers or whoever else comes after us, I know you'll get the job done.
If you guys are enjoying this video and want to see more like it, consider subscribing to the channel.
People always want something.
Basically, I'm like Shepard, a heroic and noble figurehead destined to save the galaxy. My channel, The Ship, bound for a mission of impossible odds.
This is just about sex? Maybe you should just fucking say so.
So to earn a spot next to me as we race to certain doom, all you have to do is click the button. No excuses.
You don't look so good.
Fever.
Friendship by itself isn't enough. It also requires loyalty. which is defined as giving constant support to a friend or institution, which means it plays a significant role in shaping the narrative and character development. Of the few companions I spent the most time with, which exemplify the theme of loyalty, are probably not who you'd expect. Garrus was one of them, but he's a legacy character who is already our trusted friend. So I want to talk about Jack and Grunt, black sheep of the herd who were displaced by their history and have the largest leaps to make in establishing a bond. Jack, a biotic with a troubled past, embodies the struggle to trust and form lasting friendships.
You let someone get that close, it just means they need a shorter knife.
Having suffered abuse and experimentation, she grew up hardened and mistrustful to others. To earn her trust, you have to speak her language, not the white knight charade I bet most of you D-gents put on.
You're a hard person to like, Jack.
Really? I had no idea.
Choosing to help her has us delving into her traumatic history to confront her past. We take her to the abandoned and long-forgotten Cerberus biotic testing facility that's infested with rats. As it turns out, and like Jack herself, there's more underneath the surface. A ghost of the past seeks the answers to his own history by rebooting the biotic project in question.
You were the question, and I'm still looking for the answer.
Fuck that!
Obviously, this runs counter to Jack's desire to move on.
You're here to erase your past. He's part of that.
She learns to embrace her anger and vengeance. With our blessing, she destroys what's left of this facility and its inhabitants. So, she begins to trust us, which eventually leads to an open approach to forming more meaningful relationships, and emphasizing the usefulness of friendship and loyalty in helping our team to heal and grow.
I'm not good at this soft stuff. Just... thanks, okay?
Similarly, Grunt, a genetically engineered Krogan warrior, epitomizes the struggle to find a sense of loyalty and purpose. Born in a tank and isolated from his own kind, Grunt lacks the traditional upbringing and societal surroundings that foster such connections. As a result, he initially battles with understanding the concept beyond mere obedience to his immediate purpose.
The tank gave nothing about itching plates and losing control.
It's in the mission's best interest to guide him through his coming-of-age crisis, as we'll need him in sensible condition to follow and execute orders.
I feel wrong. Tense.
Get a hold of yourself.
Obviously, we don't offhandedly know how to cope, so we make our way to the Krogan homeworld Tachanka. Unexpectedly, we run into Rex, who is in charge of the place, despite my... Apparently he's pretty tough. Or I selected the wrong port to carry over. Whatever the case, he sends us in the proper direction for Grunt to unload his pent-up rage via the Krogan rite of passage.
It kills the weak, torments the slow, and destroys the stupid. Survival is an honor, and here, Krogan thrive.
During this trial, he fights to create an identity for himself and finally discovers his place among the Krogan. By helping him defeat the monstrous Thresher Maw, he chooses to bond himself to us as his warlord and leader, reciprocating the loyalty.
Shepard is my battle master. He has no match.
Through our shared victory, he begins to understand the value of our companionship.
You dare.
Realizing that he's not merely a mindless killing machine, but an individual capable of more than just war. Which is my intent with him, but maybe we can foster a blooming friendship along the way.
I have to lock you up for the ship's safety.
And lastly, I also spent a deal of time with Morden, but to reduce sounding repetitive and avoid overextending this video, we'll summarize this story.
Pointless. Pointless waste of life.
Jesus Christ! Morden, what the f***?
Apologies, Commander. Misunderstood mission parameters.
All other squad members also showcase the significance of the themes. Initially, Jacob is portrayed as a loyal and disciplined soldier. However, his past reveals a darker side. We discover that his father, whom he idolized, is conducting unethical experiments on unsuspecting colonists. This revelation tests Jacob's loyalty to his father and forces him to confront the truth, whereas he learns the importance of true loyalty, whilst realizing that blind devotion can lead to moral compromise. He ultimately chooses to stand against his father, showing his growth and the strength of his character.
This won't stop him. It's not for them, Dad.
Thane is tested as he grapples with his duty to his son and his loyalty to us.
Back off! I'll kill him!
Hostages only work when your enemy cares if they live.
We can help him embrace the responsibility of fatherhood and mentorship as he reveals his role in the death of Goliath's mother. So he seeks forgiveness in the eyes of his son, whilst realizing the importance of redemption for the both of them.
They aren't something I can fix with a few words.
Samara.
Mother.
Tali, too, demonstrates a steadfast commitment to her people, as she studied and fought the Geth for Quarian salvation. But after a conspiracy and the death of her father, she's threatened with exile. In a farcical trial, they turned their backs on her, whereas we take her in.
I wasn't gonna let Talizora Vas Normandy get exiled on my watch.
Readying ourselves for the suicide mission ahead, we find ourselves strengthening the foundations of our hope for success. Not through acquiring better weapons and equipment, but by the bettering of our companionships. So rather than looking forward to certain death, we can instead look to each other. Mass Effect 2 explores the themes of loyalty and friendship through a deeply personal and emotionally charged story in a way like few others before it. These primary themes being at the forefront empower the narrative to deliver meaningful impact by demonstrating that even in a galaxy on the brink of destruction, individuals can find solace and strength and purpose within one another. It's clear the strength of the game lies within the characters and our relationships to them, which reveals why many consider it to be the best in the series. Each character representing different ideas and origins, different ethics and species, detailed to such degree and useful in their own, that it makes losing any of them that much more painful and tragic. It's almost exclusively why the stakes are higher when the characters are so valued, as we battle for the fate of the universe. We're not thinking of the deaths at scale, or if we are, it's from an impersonal macro level.
You can either fight at my side or get crushed under my heel, but you will not stand in my way.
But when it's a friend we've helped find personal redemption, a damaged person we've shepherded back from isolation, or a tube baby we've nurtured with love and care, and sterilized, it means so much more. Mass Effect 2 was never about the mission. It's about the friends we made along the way.
As powerful as they are, they're cowards. They've never had to stand and fight the best of us. That's you. We're not here to finish it. We're here to make them regret.